What's up, y'all? It's Sarah Kane here with Billy Scott with Billy Scott's Real Estate. We are back for another podcast episode. Hopefully, you're not tired of us yet because we could just keep talking.
I can't get a word in edgewise with her.
All right, random question. If you could only have one condiment for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh,
One condiment.
what's a condiment?
I thought you were going to say something else. I was like, don't go there. This is family friendly.
I think I'm going to go with mustard.
What? I've never even seen you eat mustard.
Yeah?
What?
Yeah.
On what?
Ham. Oh, my God. Mustard and ham. Oh, my God. That's so good.
No way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I would have thought for sure like barbecue or cherry habanero or something.
Right. Cherry habanero at Bowling Vine. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. You need a bottle of that. For real. You could put that
You
in
should make
anything.
that happen.
Mustard. I could. I know the chef.
Oh, there you go.
I probably could. I could convince him. That's crazy. I don't know. I love ketchup. It'd probably be ketchup. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, ketchup's, it's like,
I didn't hate on your mustard. It literally goes, what are you talking about? I've never even seen you eat mustard.
Well, folks, this is what happens when Sarah's a little hangry. She gets a little defensive,
I'm
a
actually not hangry.
little
What did we eat
spicy.
today? Oh, we ate at American Dream and had double bacon on our salad.
Yeah, we did.
If you don't do that, do it.
Man, they got good bacon too.
They have really good bacon. Yeah.
And good ranch, so I had to buy a bottle last time.
Yeah, I wanted a bottle. Then Billy bought it and put it in our fridge at work. And I was like, I wanted that for at home, but that's fine. Now we have it. So good. Well, I don't know. I just like catching Billy off guard with random questions. Yeah, clearly you never know what he's going to say. Gee whiz, mustard. I can't even believe that. I'll get over it. So gross. But anyway, we kind of wanted to talk about it's actually our 1 year, or my 1 year technically, working for Billy. But prior to my 1 year, a couple months, he went off on his own. Or I'm talking about you like you're not here. You went off on your own.
Yeah.
And man, it's like, we were talking about this before we started recording, but it was like, I feel like when we look at the mountain of like where we want to be, where we want to go, I feel like I've taken one step, and you're like, no, we've taken so many, like we're climbing the ladder. But like, it's just so crazy. Like you don't always see the progress like that you make, and literally, like, I know we were on the phone last week and I was like, we didn't even have a desk. Like, I didn't even have a desk when we started.
Yeah.
Like, no chairs, no nothing. Billy's chair barely survived a year. He just had to get a Shaquille O'Neal chair.
Oh, up to 400 pounds. That baby rests nice.
Oh yeah, we shared a clip of that. I'll have to post a new chair. It's pretty snazzy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Shaq's old, so it's an old man chair, but it's fine.
Well, it's comfortable.
It's meant for comfort. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's clean. I like it. But anyway, it's just like all those little things. Like, we didn't have business cards. We didn't have email signatures. We didn't have, I didn't even have an email.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have buyer or listing presentations. Like, we didn't have anything organized in a drive of any sort. There was no, like, you didn't even have a TC for a hot minute. Like, it was like everything, like all those little things that are we just have them now.
Yeah.
There was no marketing, nothing. Everything had to be created from scratch. And oh my gosh, it's so terrible. I know I'm going to look back a year from now and be like, what were we doing? It was so bad. But that's how I feel like looking back last year. Like some of the flyers. I was cleaning out the cabinet in the office last week, and I came across some flyers we printed off, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even look at that. I was like, that's so embarrassing that we put that out. I was like,
and I personally feel, Sarah, give yourself some grace. You were starting your role. Like,
it's true.
We didn't have a playbook. Like,
no, yeah.
We literally knew we were going to fail forward.
Yeah.
And we were going to work through this and we were going to figure it out.
Yeah.
But as long as we had that drive and as long as we have that, we're working towards that same goal.
Yeah.
And we have that trust and we build that relationship with one another.
Yeah.
We knew it'd work out.
Yeah.
But when you name all these things, like you name all the things that happen behind the scenes
Yeah.
that you need as an agent or as office admin or an assistant, and how to run a functioning team and build a team and
Yeah.
implement systems. Like when you start thinking about that, it just makes me think of, we're a part of 4 MLSs.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln County MLS over on the coast, Flex MLS over in Central Oregon. And then we've got RMLS, which is like the whole Portland regional, and Eugene Springfield market.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Willamette Valley MLS.
Yeah.
All of that spans down south of Roseburg and, all the way Central Oregon to Eastern Oregon. Like it covers 80% of the state.
And for definition, MLSs are multiple listing services that agents pay for to be a part of to list your properties. And that's also what agents will use, a majority of them, for buyers' property searches.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different tools in them for sure. But that's mainly like marketing open houses and stuff like that to other agents and their clients. That's what it is. But
yeah, and I think of like, Land ID or MapRight, the program for, finding different soil classes and figuring out different property values and breaking them down to, rebuilding the properties and looking at the lay of the land and the topography and, the wetland area or where the streams are, like just all of it, like so much of that, of all the tools that you have to pay for on an annual basis, none of that's set up. Because when I left the team in March last year, it was like, all right, we knew it was time for me to be a solo agent, break off on my own.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you're on a team, a lot of times you'll have a lot of those tools that the team provides you. That's part of where all your fees go.
Yeah.
Well, when you break off on your own, it's like, oh boy, there's no playbook of what you're going to need.
Yeah.
You think you know what you're going to need. You have an idea. You don't have a roadmap how to get there, but you're going to, work through it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just do your best to try to make progress every day.
Yeah.
Of like, what's most high priority right now? And the best thing was, sweet Miss Abby allowed us to work with Kate, the TC, and she was an absolute godsend on being able to upload listings.
Yeah.
When we would get listing agreements to help people sell properties or buyer rep agreements for helping buyers.
All the paperwork.
She would just handle everything, make sure we stayed compliant, make sure we set up files, and we just hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And you gave your notice, but you didn't come on board till May 8th. So like you were still with KW for 6 or 7 weeks to kind of have a nice transition, be a good time to phase out based on your last role. And but oh my gosh, when we just think like we just hit 1 year when you came on board and, barely over a year of leaving the team, it's like.
It's gone by so fast.
It's wild.
A year ago, I don't know what I envisioned it to look like a year from that moment.
Yeah.
But it definitely looks a lot different than I thought it would. Not in a bad or good way, but like it's just different. Like it's just like, I actually feel like in a positive way, it's like we've done so much more than I thought we would.
Yeah.
And grown so much more. Like so many things that I never expected, like partnering with Chase. Williams and then partnering with Brivity and then meeting Taylor and he's one of our support guys with Brivity and he's amazing and we got to go spend time with him in person up in Bellingham and just all those kinds of things like that. Oh, and like meeting Kimberly from I think she's Pennsylvania. Yeah, like meeting her and her team when we were at Mega Agent Camp, like all those things that you just can't foresee, like. It's so good. And and another thing I was thinking too, I mean, we can cut this out if you don't want me to talk about it. But out of a whole year, you and I only had like one little moment that was like there was tension. And like we worked together pretty much side by side 5 days a week. Like in the office, running around, whatever, right? And I'm like, you know what? That's pretty good.
I'd say that's a win. And let's just clear the air. Who do you think was at fault?
No.
Go ahead. Yeah, it was me.
But no, it was both of us. But it's funny because like I know it's like you want to avoid that stuff, but also in those moments is when like you learn the most about each other. And like, it's just you and I in the office every day. And yeah, we have our TC and we have our Belle, our assistant, but it's like, we're there every day. And so learning our dynamics of how to work together, how you function, how I function, like what frustrates you, what frustrates me, right? And all those kinds of things to work together for the good of our clients.
Yep.
Like it starts with us and in ourselves and leading ourselves well. But that was one of those things where it was like, it was one of those moments where I was like, we kind of brought out some, I call them touch points, but they're those moments that you can kind of bristle.
Mm-hmm.
And we had kind of brought that out of each other. And that was so interesting to like navigate. And Billy's more like, if you got something going on, it's like, just say it, let's move on, let's go. And I typically am that way, but I actually like, he didn't even know, like he moved on and it was fine. And then I brought it up a couple weeks later because I was like, I didn't realize what had really happened and how that had affected like what we were doing and how that had affected me.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy didn't do anything wrong.
Like, you can say what I did.
You're taking ownership.
Yeah.
But it was, I think it's a good learning thing. Like it was a good learning thing for me, but it literally, it's just so funny how like they say this all the time, especially like I remember when Steve and I did marriage counseling before we got married, it was like the little things that stack up that you don't talk about. Then all of a sudden something that's so simple, like kind of ignites the flame.
Yep.
And it's like, wait, that wasn't a big deal. What's the big deal? And it's like, no, it was all these little things.
Yeah.
And that week we had just like, you had been really stressed. I don't think we realized how stressed you were.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that wasn't great. And you were navigating that. And then I wasn't communicating and protecting my time very well.
Yeah.
So I was just like, anything you needed, I just let you interrupt me. And so then I got stressed because I was just like, I keep coming in the morning and it's just like, boom, 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 you know? And so then I just kind of was like, I don't understand what you're talking about. That's what happened. He was asking me something. I was like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And he had asked me to do something that I just was like, what? And I was frustrated because normally I'm really good at understanding what you need.
Yeah.
Like, or what you're saying.
Like really good.
Yeah, to the point one time you were like, yeah, I'm going to go swing by and get lunch in Corvallis. And I was like, at the bowling alley. And you were like, what?
How'd you know?
Yeah, but you just like learn the people. Like when you care about people you work with and you're around all the time, like you have to pay attention. And so, yeah, I was frustrated with myself because I was like, I just do not understand what this man needs. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
So I got kind of like, as Billy says, he misses the sweet Sarah sometimes. I had a little bit more of a tone, and Billy was like, whoa. And he felt like I was being disrespectful, which is fair. And so you were like, it's fine, I'll just do it myself. And that triggered a whole bunch of stuff in me. Cause I was just like, well, now I feel like a failure. Now he's like, I'll frustrate. I'm hired to literally take stuff off your plate. And now you're like, oh, I'll just do it myself. And I was like, what is going on? And
so 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
He's over it.
We got work to do.
Yeah. Such a man. I'm over it. Moving on.
2 weeks later. Fast forward.
I said, so he had been gone. That was like the day before you were going to leave.
People don't forget.
I don't forget. Yeah. And it just it jolted me a little bit. I had to kind of dig into like, why did that bother me? Why did I respond that way? What was so stressful about that? And that takes freaking energy, but it took me some time to figure it out. Process some stuff with my husband, and I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, because a lot of times what I've learned is in those moments, you automatically become defensive and just get frustrated at the other person. But a lot of times, like my counselor says this all the time, like it's not about the chainsaw.
Yeah.
This happened with Steven and I. He set his chainsaw one day in our house on my nice bench that had a cushion on it in the entryway. And I went over and he pulled it off, and it had leaked oil or whatever all over the cushion. Didn't come out. Still to this day, it's at my mom's. It's still there. And I blew up about it. But you know what? It wasn't about the chainsaw. It was about all these other things that I personally had just felt like you don't love and respect me. Right? It's always something deeper.
But I found something to hold on to.
But it was that. Now I'm going to drill into it. And so it's like recognizing that stuff like, no, I have to take ownership of like, that's not a big deal, but what's really going on underneath?
Yeah.
And so that's why I was kind of nervous because Billy and I never had that. Like we get along great. Like it's like I call you Uncle Billy, but like it kind of is more like siblings. Like I look at you as family. So it's like
you like my little sis.
Yeah, even though I act more like I'm 40 and you act more like you're 20, really I'm the older sister. I don't know. But it was so funny because I just put in your calendar and I texted you. I said, hey, I put in a meeting in your calendar, like we're gonna meet or whatever. And I didn't tell you what it was about. I don't know what you thought it was.
I was like,
But I was like, he was gone, so I didn't want him to be like worrying about it or something. So I was like, it's not a big deal. And we just sat down and we talked about it. But the thing that was so great is like Billy and I both value respect, right? We both value that so much. So it was like, it wasn't an argument. It was like hey, I literally remember, I think I told you, I was like, this is probably going to be more about me than you.
Yeah.
But some things might come up for you.
Yeah.
And basically what it came down to was I was like, there were some things that the way you said things in that interaction we had that triggered some things in me from when I was a kid. And it kind of brought out this little Sarah who, just some stuff got brought up for me. And then we started talking about for you, like in your perspective of like feeling like I was being disrespectful and why that's so frustrating for you and what triggers that in you. I think those are like that's the stuff that helps people grow.
Yep.
And honestly, it really wasn't that uncomfortable because we both respect each other enough to like hold space to have open communication, be direct, be kind, right? And in our approach with things.
Yep.
I apologized, Billy apologized, and it was like, okay, that's good to know. Like, I need to be better about verbalizing things and not just shoving it down. Because I'm a people pleaser. So I'm like, I can't voice that I need a boundary or I can't voice that like this is frustrating to me because like then they're going to be frustrated at me.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't say that. But I didn't really know I didn't allow myself to do that with you. Right. And you have to in work environments, like in any environment.
Well, what's that book that Chase had us read before?
The 5 dysfunctions of a team, I think, or 5 team dysfunctions. Yeah.
And it's funny because
we read that right before that, huh?
Yeah, we read it right before it. But the main thing it talks about is like trust, having the relationship, building trust, having healthy conflict, like addressing conflict, and like Chase and Reed talk about in some of their stuff with Sherpa Consulting, like they talk about those will avoid the storm. Yeah. But like healthy conflict, like face the storm and head into it and address it and keep it small. Yep. Because if you don't, it will whirlwind and just get out of hand. Yeah. And something so simple. Yeah. To you, it was just like, you know what? Like, it's fine. I'll just do it myself. That was a childish response on my end. Mm-hmm. When we look back on it and talk about it, but it was just like, it was kind of that, well, either way, it still needs done. So I'll just do it. It's like, there's not a plan C here. Like, it needs done. If you got too much on your plate right now, great. Handle what you got on your plate. I'll handle it. Yeah. But when I'm so big on disrespect or being respectful, it's just as disrespectful when I act like that. Right. Where it's like, hey, because my response is normally, if my kid gives me lip, it's like, oh, are you 12? It's like, you're not. So, yeah. And the way I responded, she had every right to go, oh, are you 12?
I didn't though. I was just like, okay. Cause normally we don't act like that. Like neither one of us really. I think that's more of like our safe people. Like you act your worst with your family, really. That's just how it is. Like we all do. That's your safe people. Like that's who you're just, that's the internal stuff that you just kind of hold in. It usually comes out with family. Yep. And that's just how it is. But when some of that starts kind of peeking up at work, it's like, what the heck is going on?
But one thing you did point out is when I go to leave for a week, whether it's vacation or like I need to not be at work and I've got a lot of stuff stacking up on my plate, I get more stressed. Because I want clients tended to. I want to make sure like we're building trust. Like you're learning your role. I'm learning my role. Like, we work with Rachel, our TC, and Belle, our assistant. Like everybody's learning roles of how to support one another. And like we all got each other's backs. But it's like I'd be lying if I said I don't stress out when it's time to be away for 7 days, even though you're still doing phone calls, emails, text messages, but you're trying to step away and have some of that work-life balance. And are things happening that need to be, are the time sensitive things happening? Yeah. It's just stressful because,
well, when you own a business and like that's your business. And then you got to step out and it's like, I'm supposed to just check out and I'm supposed to be with my family. But then it's like, but there's stuff happening and I don't know what's going on. Like that's, and you're not a dictator. Yeah. But like, you like to be in the know, and that's rightly so. Yeah. Right. And so I think that's a hard thing for you to kind of like let go a little bit sometimes and kind of let the ebbs and flow of that happen. Yeah. But I think it makes sense though. I think a lot of people get stressed in a sense before they go on a trip or something like that. Especially when you're a realtor, like, you know, like, I don't know. I'm like, maybe that's normal. I think in my mind, I'm like, I feel like it would be, you know? And that was just more my observation of like, this has happened twice. And I was like, I don't know if this is true. I just noticed it twice. Yeah. The 2 times that you've traveled without me. Like, like there's been kind of some of that. But it's like, we would not be able to have those conversations if we didn't have respect and trust, in a professional way. Yep. Like, because you work together, that doesn't mean that we just don't talk about like our feelings when stuff happens. And it's like, that was kind of hurtful, you know, or whatever. Like, I know you didn't mean it like that, but that kind of bothered me or like whatever. Yeah, like you got to be able to talk about it. Yep. Like if you don't, like it just festers and it just causes issues. And so that's why I was like, I was wrestling with, do I bring this up? Is this really a big deal? Or is this more just about me and I just need to let this go? Because sometimes that's true. So not everything needs a conversation. Yeah. I do believe that. There are things that it's like, we don't need to have a full-blown conversation about this. Like, that's silly. Yeah. But this was one of those things where I was like, yeah, we've just never had something like this. So let's just talk about it. Yep. And I appreciated how open you were. It's kind of a hard thing. Like, I know you hate when I say that or this, but like, you are my boss. And so it's like, I know we view it as a partnership. Like, this is kind of my thing that I focus on. That's your thing you focus on. And together the ship goes, right? But it's like, it's still that thing of like, well, he cuts my checks. And like, you know, it's like, geez, you know, I never want to rock the boat too much. But it's like.
Rock away.
Yeah. Well, when his wife gives me permission, I'm like, oh, all right.
What am I stressing about? Yeah. Like, we both report to her.
Yeah. Bachelor's is fine. All right. It's good. Yeah. But I did appreciate that. Like, that's kind of rare to have, like, as an employee, to be able to have a boss that you can go to and be like, hey, we kind of had this like weird tension moment and I just wanted to address it. Point out what I discovered in myself of how I responded and I should have done a better job. And I wasn't even looking for you to acknowledge anything that you saw in yourself. And I literally just wanted to come to you to like bring it up, apologize, and help you understand like, this is why I acted the way I did. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I wanted you to know that I took the time to self-evaluate to figure out, like, I don't want to react that way. And why did I? And here's how I'm not going to do that in the future. Right. Right. And then you just ended up being like, oh, well, I didn't think about how I responded like that. And, you know, and then you ended up self-reflecting and it was good.
Well, I think the big part is when we respect and trust each other. Yeah. And we can have ownership and accountability for our mistakes. Yeah. Like, there's going to be more of it. Like, but it's not what happens, it's how we handle it. And it's something that keeps getting brought up of, we have a choice with every scenario, what we do with that. Yeah. And if we don't have this trust and the relationship that we can't confide in one another or address some issues as we get better, and we're always in that growth mindset, and we tackle tough conversations and healthy conflict, but then we're not growing. Yeah. We got to be able to work through that, because as we add agents and we add more team members and we grow, like, if you don't, you're as strong as your foundation. Yeah. If you don't got a strong foundation, you ain't putting nothing on it. No. Because it's crumbling. Yeah. You know, it's so true in a business model. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate you having enough respect and trust that you could bring it up. Yeah. But also, I mean, you're right. I don't like it when you're like, well, you're my boss. It's like, don't. Like,
he puts it off on Ash. She's like, oh, she's the boss.
She's the boss. But it's one of those, like, we're we're going through this together.
Yeah.
We're in this together. It's a partnership, and it's in a relationship towards the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Because I can't do everything that I do without the support I have of you, Rachel, and Belle,
Yeah.
like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, yes, I may be more of the face of it.
Yeah.
But you're also becoming more and more the face of it because of your role and what your role is going to turn into as we grow and you take on more and you've got to manage staffing differently. So this is part of the learning curves, and some of it isn't fun, but every one of these tough conversations makes our relationship that much stronger and we grow that much more. So,
well, it's like we all want to be humble, but we don't want to go through the humbling.
Yeah.
And but we can't be humble without it.
Yep.
You got to go through those moments where you are humbled.
Yep.
And we've had to go through a lot of that. Something though that kind of I remembered when you were talking, Ash actually sent me a text for like my 1 year work anniversary, and I don't know why the way that she said it just clicked differently for me.
Yeah.
But she said, "Thank you for making his dreams come true," and I was like, "Wow." I hadn't really taken a moment to think about that because we're so client focused. It's always about helping people and being out there in the community. But like thinking about like, no, this was your dream. Like this is your dream. Not that it's not mine, but like this was your dream that you wanted to do. And her saying like, thank you for helping make his dreams come true. I was like, it just floored me. I was like so honored. It made me emotional. And I was like talking to my husband and I was like, I have not taken a moment to think about how honored I feel in helping Billy accomplish his dream. I was making you emotional. But I'm honored that you guys trust me enough.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Well,
that you guys picked me to help with your dream and make that come true. And I just get to be a part of it. And you guys invest so much time and energy and money into helping me develop. But it's like, I get to be a part of your dream. And I just think that's so cool. That's so cool.
Well, I don't think you realize the difference that you make in others of how you live day to day and how you treat people and your level of integrity. I haven't regretted the decision to partner with you from day one. And it's so wild how, it all started because the person I was trying to recruit was going to be a great fit. And she was motivated to go take her own real estate career to the next level. And it's like, if that's what I provided and motivated her to do, I'm happy for her. I'm disappointed, but always wishing her the best and cheering her on. But then it opened a door for you, and it was a door that you were praying for to open for an opportunity. And it's like, we knew we had a big vision for what we wanted to work towards and what we wanted to put together, but we didn't have all the puzzle pieces figuring out how we're going to do it. No. And it's been trial and error of like, but I knew day one when you called me and said, I'm willing to accept your offer. I want to come on board and I want to fail forward with you guys. And like, I want to go through this journey with you.
Yeah.
We've talked about it multiple times where I was just like in shock.
Yeah.
Because Sarah, like, you're a powerhouse of an individual at a very young age, and your level of maturity and your willingness to grow in your professional career, and you don't have all the answers, but you're not afraid to go find them and work through it and dig in, and like, you lead with your heart. And it's just like, I knew the day I left the team at the end of March was like, I'd been thinking about an assistant for months, and it was like, it's not going to happen on a team.
Yeah.
I need somebody I can lean on, rely on, and like help take our client experience to the next level.
Yeah.
But like, I want somebody that wants to grow with me. Like, I want somebody that wants to invest in what we're doing, and we're going to have more failures than successes in the early years and the stages, because you don't develop this business overnight. And it comes with time and it comes with heartache. Like,
yeah.
But we are truly honored to be able to partner with you and the relationship that we're building with you and Steven.
Yeah.
Because it's not just an employer and an employee.
No.
Like, it's so much more than that. And when we talk about go through life together and planning in the next couple of years, as you and Steven, maybe talk about having babies and how we're going to structure things to be able to be accommodating to you wanting to be at home more with your little ones and being a young mother. And like, it's hard to not think about, well, we need you here full time. Like, no, they're people. Like,
yeah,
they have their own lives.
Right.
We get to borrow some of their time.
Yeah. Well said.
Like, they owe us nothing.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel your level of loyalty to just others and relationships. It's like, we knew we partnered with the right person, knowing where we're headed and doing it together. So you may feel grateful for us, but I don't think we say it enough how grateful we are for what you bring to the table and how much you take care of me and our clients. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And I did not know my wife sent you that.
Yeah.
But it's cool to hear it from her perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so sweet. Like, I just hadn't thought about that, and I appreciate you saying all that. Like, I do. But it goes right back to you. I mean, that's why I know people don't always like all the mushy stuff, but it's like working for you and Ash has literally changed my life in ways I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Like, really. Like, I'm a real person. This is my life. Like, I'm 24 years old. I'm just trying to figure everything out. Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just a baby.
Well, me too, Sarah. Me too.
And I feel like the luckiest person in the world to find somebody that I can work with, that literally, like, your dream of what you want aligns with the life that I want to live.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to build with my husband at a young age.
Yep.
And it's just like, honestly, like, God is just so kind. Like, that's the only way I can even say it. Like, just for me personally, like, I don't even feel like I deserve it. Just all the things that we've got to do this past year, the growing pains, that is proof that we're growing, but it's still painful.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's so good. It's so good. And I believe in what you see. I know you're always like, you're a visionary, you see big picture. I'm like, no. But yeah, you have the dream. Like, I can see how the things are going to work together and orchestrate the more granular stuff.
Yeah.
But like, you've got the dream of what this looks like and the legacy that you want to leave, the people you want to impact. Like, it's so much bigger than just like making money and having a successful career.
Yep.
And that's what made me so excited. Like, when we sat down with you and Ash, I was like, man, this could be really cool.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's just made, like, I mean, I'm going to say this because we actually were at a training, and there's a lady up there who I love her. She's a big part in the Northwest region for KW. And I don't even know her super well, but she looked at me and she goes, I can just tell that you're where you need to be. Like, she was like, you you just feel like you're lighter. Like it's just, and it made me emotional in the moment. Of course, I like shoved it down because I'm like, I'm not going to cry in front of you.
Ain't got time for this.
But
we'll just wait to do it on the podcast.
Yeah. That was so, that was so honoring to me, of just like confirmation of like, this is where God wants you.
Yep.
And, you know, it did upset some people. The journey hasn't always been easy for it, and rightly so. Everybody's entitled to how they feel, but it's like, this is where God wanted me to be. And like, I live for that. Like I follow that. I pray that he would open the door, whatever that looked like. And you were standing in the door when she said, no, I'm not going to work for you. I'm going to go pursue my real estate career because you encouraged me to. And I'm like, well, there we go.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, so that kind of stuff, it's like, I love it. And you know what's crazy though? We haven't talked about this, because I'm going to talk about you in third person for a second. Billy is like so passionate about not being a bragging wall. Like he does not want to just like post like, oh, look at all the deals we're doing, and look how cool we are, and oh my gosh, like, woo, look at all the money we're making. Like he's so passionate about that, does not want that. So we kind of get in like debates about it, because I'm like, well, what do you want me to post? Like, you know, it's like we're trying to figure out like, how do we provide value but that's like impactful for people, and like, what do we do? And it was so interesting because Billy had heard about Rookie of the Year for our brokerage. So like, I think you have to be, what is it? It's your first full year,
12 months,
first 12 months in the industry. Anybody who's got their first 12 months in the industry, you know, I hate the word competing, but yeah, you're kind of competing for this title of Rookie of the Year. And so Billy thought like, oh man, that'd be so cool to like, you know, be Rookie of the Year. Like it's not that was his goal in the sense of like, oh, I'm going to build this business because I want to be Rookie of the Year, and that's why I'm working so hard. It's like, no. It's like a cool memento, and then we throw it in the trash and keep going kind of thing. No, I'm not trying to downgrade it, but it's that thing of like, once you achieve something, you go to the next, right? It's like, we cherish it, we appreciate it, but it's also like, we got clients to help, and that's really our main focus. Yeah. But anyway, we found out, we didn't even know this. This is so funny, actually. I didn't even know this, but there's actually a Rookie of the region. And so in Keller Williams, there's different regions. And so our region is Northwest, and that's Alaska, Washington, Idaho, and Oregon. So I had no idea. So you like bring in the thing or whatever that you got at Team Huddle, and you're like, yeah, we got Rookie of the Year. And I was like, oh, look at that. Like, cool. And then we got this thing from the Northwest region, and I was like, what? And we were looking at it, and I was like, I guess like they sent you a thing for being Rookie of the Year. Like, okay, I didn't know that. And then you find out from, I think Aaron and Laura, like that they were like, no, you're Rookie of the Region of the Year. And we were like, what? Didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
So out of every agent in their first 12 months in the region, you got Rookie of the Year. And you've like wanted to talk about it because it's a huge accomplishment. Yeah. It really is. But you've also been like, I don't want people to feel like I'm just like bragging on myself, or like, I don't know, like you didn't want it to come off in that way, which I really respect. Yeah. And so we haven't really posted anything about it, but I wanted to bring it up today because that's a big deal. And I know that we are young in the industry, very young, but we're outpacing a lot of new agents. And honestly, like,
not just new.
Yeah. Well, just at least for the Rookie of the Year thing, right? Yeah. You're only competing and whatever against new agents. Yeah. But like, yeah. And even agents that aren't new and have been in the industry a long time, like, we're outperforming in the sense of like, if we're just looking at stats. And I think the reason for that is that I wouldn't even say like we have like the best systems for everything and we're the most streamlined and everything's just easy when you work with us. It's not. Like, we have so much we're still building, like just being transparent. Like, there's so many things we're working on perfecting and making better, but every deal we get better, right? Yep. Every person that we interact with and work with, we get better. Yep. But like, you do business at such a high level in the way that you communicate and treat people. And that's the difference. And we're not the right fit for everybody. We've had clients that was not the right fit. Yep. And that's also okay. It doesn't mean that they're bad clients. It doesn't mean you're a bad agent. It just means like that was not the right fit. Yep. And that's why there's so many freaking people in the world and so many agents, because you can go find somebody and we'll go find a different client and it's okay. We just want the best for everybody. It's okay.
Yep.
But I just wanted to bring that up because, yeah, we were young, and the way that you do business is working because of how you treat people. And you're not money hungry. You're not chasing a check. You do a lot of things actually that like people don't even know, like you don't get paid for.
Yeah.
There's been some deals like you put in a lot and didn't get paid. Like, and it's the cost of doing business as you look at it, but it's also the cost of actually like treating people right and actually loving people.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You do things knowing you might not get something in return. And honestly, that's every single real estate transaction. You put yourself out there, you show up to help them knowing you might not get anything out of it. It's a possibility. It's not the goal, because that's not necessarily a win-win for everybody, but it's a possibility. It's a risk. Anyway, I don't know if you want to talk anything about it, but it's pretty cool.
Well, I agree. It was something that I had told my family that was one of my goals for the first year. Once I heard about Rookie of the Year, like how cool would that be to be Rookie of the Year, you know, in our little area, and then to find out Rookie of the Region across 4 states, and like there's like 6,400 agents in those 4 states that work for Keller Williams, and about 1,200 of them, I believe, were new agents that qualified. And to win that for top units sold in a 12-month span was just, it was surreal in a sense of like, wow, like, because a lot of times we all focus on the local level, like who's your competition right in your backyard.
Just look in the mirror. No.
Well, like lift your head up and look across, like your competition is way farther out there than just right next door. But it's like our head's been down, we've been grinding and just trying to go earn business and do right by clients and work hard and work through learning curves and struggles and but it's making us better by the day. And when we get caught in the moment, when we got so much coming at us, it's like, this is what we wanted. Like, this is what we're working for. And like, we got people that need us. We get to help people. We get to serve clients. Like, this is awesome. Like, this is filling the bucket, like the why. And then there's times we go, man, look back where we were a year ago, struggling with just marketing material, which you downplay and make it seem like it was worse than what it was. But
it was pretty bad, guys.
your standard continues to rise as you grow. Our standards, our goals, our expectations continue to adjust accordingly. So,
our standard is exceeding expectations.
Yep, that's part of
our vision and stuff. It's so true.
But and what, you know, Sarah says, like, I've been very hesitant of like, oh, look what we closed, look what we put under contract, look. And it was like, my first year was like, any excuse to do some marketing, great, throw something out there, get some marketing, let people know you're in the industry.
Right.
And now it's almost like I've done a 180 and like I've reeled it all back in a sense of like, don't post all the actives and pendings and all the solds and everything going under contract, like, because deals fall through. Deals don't always hit the closing table. You know, in a shifting market, you got like a 25% average of deals fall through.
It's true.
You put 4 under contract and one of them falls out. That's industry average right now. Like, that's wild. And then it's like, we had a 5-month turn last fall from late October to late March, where we had 10 deals under contract and one of them closed. Like, just, that was lower than standards, lower than industry average, but it was a perfect storm of multiple things that happened. And some of it you can control and some of it's out of your control and you have to accept it. But it's like, I went into that funk of just, man, we had so much traction and so much good early success and like so much growth my first year on the team and then my first season on my own. And then it's like, hold tight for winter because it could be a long one. It's like, no, we got,
She was cold.
It was cold, yeah. But
it was, like, we learned a lot.
Exactly. And when we think about what was this last year like, we went from the end of last March, we hit the ground running. We started getting listings. We started buying for sale signs and posts and like
Oh yeah, that was
started
another
getting
thing. Yeah.
open house signs and like just throwing it together. Like, what do you think? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's no playbook. We just got to do it. Like, let's just do it. And,
Yeah.
you know, Sarah learning how to do some of the marketing stuff, and then, you know, learning with Nikki, our first VA. We ended up, you know, going another direction there by the end of fall, and then hiring a different VA, Belle, and she's done awesome. And, you know, transitioning away from Kate, who helped us out doing our transaction coordinator work, and then Rachel, who's been awesome, and she came on board and she just takes it on like her own of like what we're doing as a partner on the team. And it's just,
and you partnered with one coach, and then we ended up finding Chase, and it was like, I think this is the route we're supposed to go. And then we really leaned into coaching with Chase and getting to know Reed and Casey, and then that's been amazing. It's like kind of sometimes the things
that went from individual coaching to team, like business development. We shifted the coaching
of what we
of style. And my coach John, he was great, but we kind of shifted the direction what we were going, where it was like we had to build systems, we had to get stuff in place, like we had to slow down to speed up. You know, in that sense. But you've been keeping that open mind the whole way. And we've came through a lot. So there's times we feel like, man, we're not where we want to be. Like, so no, but that North Star, like we talk about our mission, vision, values, we may never be. Because the North Star keeps getting farther away. But like, are we striving to serve and educate others and just get better? You know, and we're having fun doing it. And if it don't show, I don't know another way to say it, but
we are.
But the thing, like, to wrap back, we've been to a lot of trainings, and they're like, how many people in here don't post about the solds, the actives, the pendings? Why not? How many people don't talk about your awards? Why not? How many people don't talk about your achievements? Why not? And it's like, 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 you know, Sarah's pinpointing me, drilling me like, you know, I've told you. But when Jeff Glover speaks, it's like, okay, he's right. And what it does is it's not so much a bragging wall, but it's like, if your clients don't know that you're the professional and you're that resource and you're that person that's like, oh my gosh, this team works hard. They take care of their clients. They love their people. They go above and beyond. Like, here's what makes them different. They're personable. They care. Like, they want the best for their clients. Sometimes talking clients out of buying properties because it doesn't make sense financially.
Do you know how many times Billy does that? It's like, sometimes I'm like, oh, you're so good to your clients, but like, come on. But it's so true. Like, I'm kind of just joking, but it's like, you do. Like, you interviewed for one of our clients that we have now, and you were kind of trying to, it's not that you were trying to persuade her, but you were giving her the option of like, hey, you might want to consider keeping this as a rental. Like, that might be a good thing for you. Which means that you just spent your time. I prepped the whole thing for you. You show up to the appointment, you're showing up, and you're talking yourself out of a job because you see
what's best for them.
What's best for them might not be selling their home, which means they don't need you. But, and it's like, I don't know, you can't teach that. It's just you, like you say, I lead with my heart. It's like, well, you do the same thing. It's like you show up to these appointments and you're like, yeah, you should keep your house. And I'm like,
but think about this.
But it's good because it's the right thing.
It's the right thing. And they're always grateful for the honesty later.
So grateful.
Sometimes they're not grateful to hear it at the time.
Right.
Love you, Cecilia. But you may talk them into keeping their property because financially that makes the most sense for them. But you also earn their trust. Which then earns, are you that person they think about when friends or family say, hey, I was thinking about buying or selling. I've got a person for you. You should talk to their team. Like, because the one thing we want to be able to provide is, if we can't help you, like, we're going to be able to lay it out there. And that's okay. But if we can put some time into this, look at it, evaluate it, and let you make the best decision, great. And not all of them are going to work out. But if that leads to a referral, which leads to a great experience, leads to another relationship built and more trust, and you get to impact more people in the community, that's a compounded that's
recipe. Worth so much more. Yeah.
Instead of that one deal that like, well, I could have talked him into selling. Like, no, like that's not the long game. That's the short game. And eventually you're going to run out of the industry.
Well, I mean, imagine showing up at an appointment and like your integrity is so high and you feel like you need to tell them like, no, this is like, I wouldn't sell. Like this might not be the right thing for you. Giving them those options and making sure that they know like what you think is like, imagine feeling that way and not saying that. Like, I just couldn't live with myself. You're showing up or like you show up with buyers. Like you've had these one clients that, you know, they'll go look at properties that they're like, oh, I really want to write an offer on this one. And you're like, do you remember what we talked about that you wanted? Like, I'm not sure this is what you're talking about. Like, I'll do what you want.
Yeah.
But I'm just here to remind you.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You know? And a lot of times they're like, oh, you're right. No, it wouldn't work. Like, it's not what we want.
Yeah.
And they get caught up in the emotions of it. And then you go months and months and months longer showing them homes or whatever, right?
Yep.
And it's like, it's at the detriment of your bottom line in that sense. But like, you don't look at it that way. Like you value, it's priceless to you to do right by people compared to just getting a check.
Yep.
Like you'll pursue that every single time.
The long game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And we love people. So it's like, nah.
And,
all right.
And like
it feels good.
Like there's been some clients that they're just like, hey, my goals have changed.
Yeah.
That's that. Okay. Like, but it's my job to bring up some of these tough things that you asked me to bring up.
Right.
If you let your emotions, get, and not all these deals have worked out. Some have went to other people because they told them what they wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Like you hate losing a client, but it's also one of those, can you look in the mirror and sleep at night?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
And did they get taken care of? Wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's the end game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but we've got we got many more ladder rungs to climb. Much more that we're working toward and growing in. And but it's like, I don't know. I know people are like, I can't believe you're being vulnerable and like talking about all this stuff. Like it's nobody's business. But it's like, I think it's important because we are so much more than what we do.
Yeah.
We're so much more than Billy Scott Real Estate.
Yep.
Like, love it, but also
love it.
right? Like we're more than real estate. Like we have lives, we have dreams, we have souls, like we have families, like we're real people. Like listen, I like a good margarita, okay? Like we're real people. We live real lives.
She likes half a margarita.
Shut up. I drink the full margaritas. I love a good margarita. Except, okay, wait, that's true. The one that he took me to in Austin, that was probably the worst margarita I've ever had. My glass was dirty. We sat up on the roof. I hadn't eaten. And like, he's just all this tequila. I'm sure it was like, what, triple shots or something? I don't know. It felt like it. It's like 100 degrees out. I'm sitting and I'm like, I couldn't even walk. It was so bad.
Okay. She was dehydrated. Yeah. She hadn't ate, so that did not help.
And I was in the heat. Yeah. So that shouldn't count against me.
But a dirty, trashy hole in the wall, those are the best. That's a good spot you want to go to a restaurant.
I don't know about that, but all right. I'm not going back to that place.
But no, let's do a final, like overall, we're out of winter, we're in the spring summer market. Where were we a year ago? What did, some of the things we overcame? But looking at, like, think of the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, we've closed on 12 different properties the last 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. I think we had 7 closings in April.
Yeah.
And a referral.
Yeah.
And we're headed for a wonderful May.
Yeah. I don't even know. I got to look again how many. I know how many actives and pendings and stuff we have. Yeah, we've got a lot of moving. It's awesome.
Yeah,
like it's awesome. It's wild, but it's awesome.
but it's like it's a new challenge every day. We got more people to help. We got more clients to serve, and everybody wants to go in different directions. And how can we cram it in a 24-hour day?
Yeah,
I don't know, but buckle up because I love this stuff.
If you show up to your job in real estate and think you know what's going to happen, just go back to bed. Like, for real. Like, just reset that because you don't. Yeah. Every day I show up and I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. And it's like, oh, this and this and this. Yep. This happened after hours and this person called me. And it's like, all right, here we go.
I don't know. I mean, real estate's a roller coaster. There's no better way to say it. It is an absolute roller coaster. And sometimes you're on the funnest roller coaster. and you get to help people, and it's so rewarding. And then sometimes you're on the roller coaster ride from hell that you don't know what you signed up for, and you just wish you never got on.
Literally.
And
we in the same day, we've had a closing that was like a really good client. It was like awesome. And then like literally an hour later, we have a deal fall out. And it's like,
it's like you can't be excited
no.
because you're trying to take care of the next one, and it's like, but it's always that stress of like, how can you see it get to the closing table? How people aren't happy till they officially close to purchase their home or to sell their home. They're not happy until then.
That's true.
And it's like, how do you educate and guide them throughout it and to mitigate emotions and to kind of keep it as consistent and calm mannered and overall like the process, but on the inside, you're jumping out of excitement for different milestones, and then you're just like, oh, how did this happen? And then
happy for you, sad for you. I'm frustrated by that. Like, yeah.
But it's
all part of it.
But man, I would buy a year-round bracelet for this roller coaster ride any day of the week. I love it because think of the kiddos that we get to sponsor on some of the baseball teams.
Oh, it's so
some of the kiddos that get to do some of the fun things, or the parents that reach out and say, hey, thanks for sponsoring my kid's team. Like, logo looks
so
cool. Or
different
ways that we get to give back and supporting kids with youth rodeo or the 4-H clubs or like, it's just, I don't know. Like, we truly get to make an impact in others' lives, which in turn makes an impact in our lives.
Amen.
So
I like that.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Good closing note. Well, that's a little, I don't remember what this podcast is called, 1 year and whatever.
1 year review or recap?
No, I think it was just like 1 year later. Dun, dun, dun. She's still here. I survived. It's all okay. But yeah, also, I think when this comes out, it's going to be graduation. And we had talked about that. So happy graduation to all of our 2025 graduates.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's high school seniors from all over the area. Like
happy graduation.
The next few weeks, that's
huge.
That's a huge accomplishment and probably your biggest accomplishment in your life.
Yeah.
Usually by the time you're 18 years old is graduating high school or completing your GED or whether after school you're shooting for college or you're looking at a trade school or if you're just looking to get in line with work.
Or real estate.
Like you got the world is at your fingertips and your options are endless. And no matter how well you did in high school, do not make that a reflection of the direction you're headed.
Yeah.
Because you've completed it. Now it's up to you from there, what you go set your mind to. And it's irrelevant. Yeah. And in 5 years, you're going to look back at high school and be like, wow, it was a fun journey, good times, but it has nothing to do with the direction I'm headed in my career.
Yeah.
So you can do anything you set your mind to as long as you're disciplined with it.
World is your oyster, as they say.
Yeah.
So congrats to you guys, all your hard work. Super thrilled for, I know so many seniors this year. It's awesome. I'm pumped.
2025.
I'm excited to see what they all do now. After. Yeah, it's fun.
Yep.
It's cool. All right. Thanks for watching.
Congrats.